So, to begin with, why don't you take us back to your business in 2020? Why was it that at that moment that felt like the right time to invest in your branding?
So 2020 was a really interesting year. At the start of the year, we were three people just before the COVID pandemic hit. And by the end of that year, so February 2020, we were three of us. And actually, I think we equated to 1.5 FTEs. So both the other people in the business were working 10, 15 hours a week. And by the end of that year, by November, we were at 11 or 12. And it was really rapid growth.
Yeah.
And Bays Consulting, when it set off, was only ever meant to be me, and it was only ever meant to be a part-time solution before I got one of those proper jobs. So I sat down with PowerPoint when I set my company up and literally drew a logo that sort of looked all right and was kind of okay at the time, and great, fine. But as the business grew and I guess professionalized and was changing what it was doing and how it was seen and who it was known by, that little logo that had been drawn by me in PowerPoint didn't quite seem to cut muster anymore. Um, but I didn't know anything about design, and certainly I knew nothing about branding. So, like you said, we'd known each other for a few years. So you were the natural person to reach out to and go, I really don't know what I'm doing, um, but I need something better than this. And that was it. It was that growing professionalization, and I guess just being known by more people.
Yeah.
So one of the things I love is obviously the logo is the brand itself is white with the orange base, and I think what's important to say is I remember you presenting all those options about the first round of all these options, and just the one we went with jumped off the page because it's a divide sign. So if you don't know Bayes theorem is a really awesome mathematical equation that's a divide. It's a divide sign. And Bayes' logo, my Bayes' logo, is now this beautiful divide sign. And I just loved it.
And so it was 5 years ago that we worked together, so it's hard to remember all of it. But if you can think back to the process, which parts of that did you find most helpful?
So I think I can take that into three different parts. The first bit, and I think the most important bit, was that I remember you and I having a really long conversation about what we wanted the logo to be, and more importantly, what it didn't want it to be. And actually, that really helped me have the confidence that you knew what I was looking for. So when the first set of options came through, there was just that one that I absolutely loved. I was like, yes. But actually, that starting point of really understanding who we are, what we want, where it's going. And then I think the second part I remember, oddly, is the fonts. I remember having a lot of conversations around fonts, and we honestly had them stuck up on the walls in the house with me looking at them, going, "Which one? Like, which one is actually where I think we should go?" And the one you were suggesting, I remember at the time, was something we had. It was a font we had to download, and it wasn't a standard one. And
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
remember we kept coming back to it in the house, and I'd sent it out to the company, and it was just the one that looked. It's odd to say that the font captures who we are, but it does. It's a really beautiful font. It's HK Grotesque. Have I said that correctly?
Grotesque,
Grotesque,
yeah,
there we go.
yeah,
Grotesque,
yeah.
HK Grotesque. And it's got the lovely mathematical A's, but a very clear Y and a really lovely B. And it's that elegant with that little A that's the mathematical A in it. And it
Yeah.
just, that, the colour was brilliant and we enjoyed that. But the font was the thing I unexpectedly enjoyed and got the most from.
I think that's great because actually typography in is so powerful in brand application because afterwards I know we worked with you on a little PowerPoint
Yes.
deck or a presentation deck, didn't we? And you can just take the brand color, some of the brand imagery, but you've got that typography for all the headers
Mhm.
there. So, yes, the logo is the main event, but you can't, that's not practical. You can't just whack your logo in the middle of everything and
No.
make it the big, event. Um, I wish, but yeah, but I think this is the thing in real application, typography is going to get used so much, so it's really important it is
It is,
considered.
and actually, we've got much better as sort of as we've learned as a company about. I've got to put the Y spacing round. We know there's got to be the Y
Ah, yes.
And
The safe
the safe
space.
space, yeah, that.
Yes, for the logo. Yes, not crowding
You see,
things,
5 years
giving them
in,
space.
I still don't have the branding lingo, but I know
Oh, don't worry. I wouldn't expect you
I
to.
know when my logo's too close to the edge now because I can work out what
Great.
it needs to be. And I do think for all those people who use, Calibri and those sort of standard easy read ones, mine is
Mm,
nice to look at. It's just
mm,
lovely to look at and it fills the page very nicely. And yeah, I
mm,
think it's just it was an unexpected part that brought happiness and
mm.
intrigue to it. And I guess I hadn't thought about when we set off because I just didn't know anything about design, about all the different elements we were going to have to talk about and all the different things I was
Yeah.
going to have to make decisions on. And it felt a little at times like when you're trying to do your kitchen and you have to make all these decisions about taps and handles, and you're like, whoa, I don't know what this is going to look like at the end. And
Yeah,
and
of
and
course.
and just coming back to you and going, oh, go on, tell me again, tell me again what this is. And actually, I think what you might not have seen was because we kept sending it around the company going, do we like this? Do you like this? Like I think this one looks
No, I didn't have any idea you were doing that.
like so, I think this one, and actually it whilst I had the final say, everybody did like what we were coming up with. And I think that
Yeah.
gave that added, if we're going to go forward as a company, we can all get behind this image and this brand. And that year we also had a big kick-off in April where once we'd done the logo, so it would be 2021, and we had people coming in and we did mood boards about who we wanted to be and where we wanted to
Mm.
go and what we wanted to be known for, and how did that all feed in. And I think it's if if you don't have that strong brand identity, that's much harder because people don't know who they're
Yeah,
joining.
that's it. So it sounds like it helped you pivot it from being more of a, kitchen table operation to actually a
I
company
mean,
that has staff and has brand
yeah,
values and has, yeah, team attitudes and, yeah,
and merchandise.
mission
We have merchandise.
and merchandise.
We have
Yeah.
merchandise with stuff printed on it.
Yeah.
Um, and our stickers, honestly, computer stickers. Who knew they were this popular? And I think
Yeah.
it's 5 years later. It's still fresh and it's still finding ways to use it and giving us um, well, joy. I think when we look at it.
Oh, that's really nice. And from an outside perspective, I really saw you step up your social media and then your website as a result after we had done this.
So I think one of the lovely ways I can explain this over the last few years is so 1, 2, 3, 4 years. So yeah, 2021 we went to our first ever it's a big event, police and security, and we had a joint stand that year with our little logo. And then the following year, we had our own tiny stand, but with roll-up banners, these big pulley roll-up banners. And then the year after, we upgraded and we had inserts. This year, we went with light boxes. And we've got these photos of the Bays logo becoming sort of more and more like, look, we're here. And we've now got a little stand that is just the square Bays logo, and it's great. And like you were saying, it's just that journey of, okay, well, now we have this, how do we use it, what do we do with it, how do we make it look better? So all of those things have just kept going over the years, and I love our little sequence of photos from security and policing which we have internally
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that just show us how we've
That's lovely
evolved.
storytelling.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
look, we've got light boxes, which
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
we've gone from a printed poster on a wall to a roll-up banner to a
Yeah.
to a light box, and you just see our little logo. I don't know, gaining
Yeah.
confidence and going, yep, I'm here. Here I am.
And your business gaining confidence with your little logo, your not so little logo in your light box.
My light box, yeah.
But And I think I've seen that before actually. When I work with a range of businesses, sometimes it's individuals or very small businesses, micro businesses, but when they do have staff and they have an office, there have been a few cases, and I've heard it more than once, that it's helped with morale actually, that people have enjoyed the process of kind of doing something creative that isn't their normal job, of kind of being part of this branding process. But then afterwards, having the posters up, having the new signage up, whatever it might be, making people feel a bit more proud of the company and yeah, and part of it because if they weighed in on the branding.
Absolutely. So, I mean, last year or was it this year? Yeah, no, it was this year. For the first time ever, we've got shiny stickers. Well, a holographic sticker of Bays Consulting. You have no idea about the marketing power of a shiny sticker. Honestly, I don't think anybody has ever grown up. Yeah, just people are really proud to say that's me. That's what I do and what we achieve, and it it's really nice. But it's us.
Yeah.
It it
Yeah.
it takes on that living, breathing entity thing of itself.
Yeah.